breaking down the deals, data, and disruption shaping global markets. You're listening to The Daily Ledger with Dennis Sert.
Hey folks, it is Monday, July 27th, 2026. You're listening to The Daily Ledger Show, and I'm your host, Dennis Sert. Great to be here with you this late afternoon. Great to be back in the old studio. Let's do a quick mic check here. They're amazing. Beautiful, beautiful. We got some good stories we're going to get into today. We're going to talk about 5 things to know about Meta's giant data center in Louisiana. Ex-JP Morgan banker alleges racism, sexual assault in federal lawsuit. Big companies are starting to hire again, defying predictions of AI wipe out. PSA, your Claude shared chats and artifacts may end up on Google. Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Fels Massino steps down after disastrous rebrand nearly destroyed the restaurant chain. Kevin Feige defends lack of Doctor Doom buildup by downplaying Thanos. And Nolan's The Odyssey has insane second week box office hold. $1 billion seems inevitable. So we're going to talk about all that. And yeah, make sure to, before we do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, follow if you're on Instagram or TikTok. And make sure to share out all of the shorts, the TikToks, and the reels. I have a lot of fun clip farming these guys. And they do decently well, if not very well, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, often in the hundreds of views per reel. So that is what keeps me going. Yeah, why don't we dive right in? Let me get this guy going here. 5 things to know about Meta's giant data center in Louisiana. The road to the giant project was paved with secret meetings and an ever-expanding building plan. Wow. So Meta just apparently just rushed out this like secret data center construction plan in Louisiana. And there's not one, but 2 front page articles in the text section of the New York Times covering this. So the New York Times is very pissed off. And, you know, Zuck has struck again, hasn't he? So it goes into it here. $50 billion and roughly covers 6 square miles. Oh, behind the scenes, an extraordinary amount of secrecy was necessary to pull it off. Yeah, that's because everyone's like, oh my God, I don't want the surveillance state. Bitch, you're already being surveilled, okay? Like, just do a phone call and then that's basically it. They're just trying to integrate AI. And it's like, I mean, they should have already done it already. Let's be real. Like, it's been like almost 5 years since the release of AI as we know it with GPT 3.5 in November 22. Okay, 2022. And it is now 2026. Okay, so a little late if you ask me. But they're trying to build these data centers, as we all know, and there's a lot of public backlash. Some say funded by China, others say grassroots. But regardless, the Democrats certainly have taken a position against data centers, while the Republicans have taken a position against not building data centers. In other words, building data centers. So anyways, yeah, so Meta has been building this, and then, yeah, so, and then the New York Times kind of goes into it a little bit more. The Wall Street Journal, ex-JP Morgan banker alleges racism, sexual assault, and federal lawsuit. Chira Ranu accuses former colleague Lorna Hajidini of violating civil rights and names 3 other leveraged finance bankers. Like, why is this guy in the news again? Like, this guy needs to be institutionalized. I'm sorry. Um, like his lawyers literally like fired them. So they're like, hey man, they walked off the case. They were like, hey man, like I don't want to do this anymore. They literally just walked off. And then now he's back in the news. And this was like a few months ago. And let me just say something. Okay. Look, women don't talk like this. This right here is incel speak, okay? So Rana's original suit alleged Hajini sexually assaulted him for months and was filled with sensational details such as accusations that he was taunted with phrases like his wife, quote, doesn't have these cannons. Like, let me tell you something. I've never met any women who have even used the word cannon in my vicinity, okay? I'm telling you, the word cannon immediately tells you it's made up. Women don't use these words, man. This is what an incel would use, an involuntary celibate. This is not what fucking, like, I would bet the fucking house that Laura Hajdini never, Lorna Hajdini never uttered the phrase. Okay, it's clearly BS, if not from the word choice alone. And yet, this guy comes back up on the timeline. It's like, you need to be institutionalized today. The Wall Street Journal, big companies are starting to hire again, defying predictions of AI wipeout. After a year of holding back on new hires, companies from tech and transportation to defense, now they say they need more people to work alongside AI. Oh, look, Boston. Yeah, so that's the newest push. It's the newest narrative. It's on the timeline. Oh my God, more jobs, more tech jobs, supposedly more entry level jobs. This was actually my position, like kind of when this first came out, because, of course, boomers are the last ones to sort of, catch up on the trend of AI. Like, they're probably going to be the least likely to age bracket to start using AI. Whereas entry level people are fresh out of college. They know how to use AI. Let me tell you that, just from having gone through college. And not because the professors instructed them on how to use it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of clear, right? Because you kind of need people to use AI, but you need less of those people. Right? So you don't fire literally everybody, because who's going to direct the AI? No, you fire 90% or 99% of your workforce, and then you keep the 1% around to kind of shepherd the AI agents, right? So that's how it works. But that 1% needs to be an entry level person, right? Because they got the fresh talent. TechCrunch, your Claude shared chats and artifacts may have ended up on Google. So apparently there's this quote scandal. It's not even that big of a deal, but so I guess there's this shared chat feature on your Claude chats. And you can choose as a user to keep them private or to create a public link. But when you do a public link, it turns out that Google search has crawled all of the Claude public shared chats, and they're just available on Google supposedly. Which is just absolutely hilarious. And it's funny because Anthropic appeared to blame users for the exposure. And they're actually not wrong. I mean, if the user decides to create a public link and it says anyone with the link can view, and Google just happened to crawl it, well, I mean, that's kind of sucks to suck, doesn't it? Should have kept it private. So Yeah, it's hard to take the users' position on this one, their side. That Park Place, Cracker Barrel CEO Julie Fels Massino steps down after disastrous rebrand nearly destroyed the restaurant chain. Long overdue. Long overdue. So basically, in like 2023, or maybe actually, I think it was last year. Never mind. Yeah, I was thinking of the Bud Light thing. No, last year, Cracker Barrel tried to do a rebrand and then walked it back, and then now finally she's getting kicked out like a bitch, like a fucking bitch. August 10th. That's amazing. I love it when people get fired. Geeks and gamers. Kevin Feige defends lack of Doctor Doom buildup by downplaying Thanos. So here's the thing. This is actually a really nuanced topic here because everybody is saying like, oh my god, Thanos had like 10 years of a buildup, whatever. But I was always thinking like, okay, like actually he only had like one cameo at the end of Avengers where he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And then he just popped back up in 2018 with Infinity War. And it's funny because Kevin Feige, sort of head of Marvel at Disney Marvel, says the Thanos buildup has built up in people's heads over the years. He said he sat on a chair at the end. He put on a gauntlet and said, I'll do it myself. And then he yelled at Ronan on a video screen briefly. That was kind of it. I mean, he's actually right here. But Geeks and Gamers, which I'm usually with, kind of takes like the so-called popular view and goes, oh, well, you know what? There was so much buildup with Thanos. And then they're like, well, there wasn't a lot of buildup for Doctor Doom in contrast. Well, here's the thing. They're right with Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday coming out this December, not having any buildup. It's actually terrible. It was actually an unmitigated disaster because originally the plan was for Marvel to have Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, and then he got into like an assault allegation scandal, and then he got fired like a bitch, and then Disney Marvel was in this pickle, like, shit, we were building up Kang the Conqueror, who showed up in Ant-Man Quantumania, and then now what do? We don't know who our big bad is. And then they just basically signed RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. again, Chris Evans, and then now they're doing Doomsday. Apparently the budget's like over $1 billion for this. It's going to be absolutely insane. So, yeah, they're throwing everything they can, and that everything meaning money. Geeks and Gamers, Nolan's The Odyssey has insane second weekend box office. Hold $1 billion seems inevitable. Yeah. So apparently it did pretty good. Everyone's talking about it on X. I'm not going to watch it because fuck that. No, I'm going to watch it like not at the box out. Yeah, not at the cinema. Yeah, but apparently after the Odyssey opened last weekend with a number 32% higher than the initial global projections, its second weekend has matched the initial success with not only some of the best weekend holds we've seen this year, but even more impressively, one of the lowest drops for the second weekend of a movie that opened to over $100 million. Yeah, just to have a movie drop 30 to 40% is impressive. Yep. IMAX sales have been good. So it's going to make about 900 million to 1.2 billion looking like. So yeah, I guess people like Tom Holland and Zendaya being together. Okay, I think we're going to end it there. Good stream today, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.